Today we're diving into a controversial and rapidly evolving case. Tom Artiom Alexandrovich, a senior Israeli cyber official, arrested in Nevada. We'll unpack the facts, what crime he was accused of, and why and how he was released and returned to Israel, the role of U.S. officials, and what this could mean for the broader geopolitics and justice. Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Delania. The more Trump and the USA try to deny that Israel has them by the balls, the more it is so apparent that they do. And this is the perfect example of that. The mainstream media wants to stay away from this topic by far. Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens, and Tucker Carlson are all seeing right through this and are getting a lot of flack in return. But they're all right. They all see the connection and the fact that US is being controlled by Israel. They all see it, but no one really wants to talk about it. So guys, please like, subscribe, share. I think it's very important that people do not stop talking about this issue. Pedophilia is not a partisan issue. Innocent kids' lives are being affected and it needs to stop. We just can't have this. It's obviously pedophilia is free and clear in Israel, but I don't think that it will ever be the case in the United States. So I think it needs to stop now. So let's dive into Tom Artiom Alexandrovich. He is the executive director of the Cyber Defense Division at Israel's National Cyber Directorate. So here he is here, and he is definitely a senior official there within the cyber division in Israel. He works for Netanyahu. So he is directly working for the Prime Minister's office. He's been recognized domestically for cyber leadership, including receiving an Israel Defense Prize in 2021. In August 2025, while attending Black Hat USA, a major cybersecurity conference in Las Vegas, he was arrested as part of a multi-agency sting targeting child sex predators. The charge? Attempting to lure a child online in Nevada. This is a Category B felony, punishable by 1 to 10 years in prison, according to the police. He believed he was meeting a 15-year-old girl, brought a condom, and planned to take her to a Cirque du Soleil show. The courtroom documents reveal that he claimed he thought the girl was 18 years old and expressed embarrassment over the arrest. Yeah, right. You know, I saw this quote here, and this was posted on X, and it says that I have now confirmed with officers involved in the sting that the Trump administration personally intervened at Israel's request to override U.S. law enforcement, including their own federal agents involved in the sting, to make sure that Alexandrovich got back to Israel quickly and safely. The officers told me they couldn't believe it. They had worked for weeks with the FBI, Homeland Security Investigations, and the Nevada Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force to run the sting. They caught Alexandrovich red-handed. They booked him, charged him, and logged into the Henderson County system like every other suspect. And then, despite the Trump administration itself authorizing the sting, Trump's own team stepped in and blew up the work. They expedited his release and returned to Israel. The predator was caught, and then to protect Netanyahu, he was freed. So, as part of his justice on August 7th, he had to pay a bail of $10,000. He posted it before any formal probable cause hearing, meaning no judge had imposed additional release restrictions, no passport surrendered, not held as a flight risk, despite the serious nature of the charge and being a foreign national with potential to flee. There was no indication that his passport was seized or any travel restrictions imposed, though flight risk is supposed to be a core consideration in bail decisions. He did have a flight scheduled for August 8th, and after posting bail, he returned to Israel as planned. And acting as U.S. Attorney, Sigal Chattah, appointed by Trump in early 2025, this is her here, confirmed the matter was referred to the Clark County District Attorney, meaning no federal charges were filed. This was unusual since multi-agency stings involving FBI and Homeland Security typically lead to federal prosecution. In this case, the feds chose not to pursue it. And what I find is very interesting is this, she posted this on one of her socials. Crimes that go unpunished becomes crimes that are repeated. Okay. So the U.S. State Department publicly denied any intervention. Yeah. noting no claim of diplomatic immunity and that a state judge released him on bail. But skepticism remains, especially given the high-profile nature of the Israel cyber role. Online commentary, particularly from the critics of the U.S.-Israel dynamics, called this handling over-lenient. That is for sure. So who is Sigal Chattah? Sigal Chattah, born in Israel and appointed as interim U.S. Attorney for Nevada by Trump in April 2025, handed the case off to state prosecutors. Her handling of the case is very suspect. She facilitated an easy exit while noting her political profile, including Republican affiliations and past controversies, deepens public skepticism. So I also found online that she seemed very unfit. So this is from the Society for the Rule of Law. And this was a press release. More than 100 judges say U.S. Attorney appointee Sigal Chattah is unfit for office, and that was posted at the end of July. Typically, a judge evaluating bail for a foreign national accused of a serious crime would consider 8 very high-risk factors in this case, and she did not consider anything. I think everything was completely turned a blind eye to everything. First thing is he a danger to the community? Obviously, he's a danger to the community. He's a perpetrator. He's going after young girls. 15, 18, the guy's almost 40 years old. He shouldn't even be attempting to go after someone that young. And this sting operation had been planned for a very, very long time. Past criminal history. And his ties to the U.S. Yes, he's got significant ties to the U.S. through the Israeli government. Yet, none of that led to any restrictions. He posted $10,000 in nominal bail, kept his passport, and left the country within 24 hours. Critics argue this amount is total preferential treatment, especially given how many others in the sting face much more restrictive conditions. So let's take a look at this, and let's look at how this all went down. So the accountability for the officials. When senior officials are accused of violent or sexual crimes, governments must ensure there's no special treatment, undermining justice, which it happens all the time, as we're seeing now. The U.S.-Israeli relations and perceived impunity. This adds fuel to the narrative that emphasizes unequal treatment based on nationality or political alliances. So who enforces versus who decides? Multi-agency operations ended with state charges only. The Fed stepped back, raising questions about discretion and political shielding. Extradition risks. Israel is known for limiting extradition in such cases. Even if state prosecutions proceed, securing his routine court could be very, very difficult. There's no chance that this guy is coming back. Apparently he has that court date for August 28th. There's zero chance that he's coming back. So there it is. Tom Artiom Alexandrovich, a high-level Israeli cyber official, was arrested in Nevada for allegedly attempting to lure a minor, yet he posted bail, retained his passport, and returned to Israel without federal intervention, and amid growing political controversy. This case highlights serious tensions between justice, diplomacy, and political interests. It raises very critical questions about whether justice is truly blind, or is it swayed by the status and power? Let me know what you think, guys. I think this is absolutely outrageous. I love this thing. I saw this on X as well. This is the new Epstein Island. It's Israel. And as I keep saying, all roads lead back to Epstein, and all roads lead back to Israel. There's obviously something going on here, and no one wants to talk about it. But having pedophilia allowed in our country is just ridiculous. And how anybody can justify that, then obviously they write their own script here. They have something, and I think it comes down to a nation under blackmail. And I've had plenty of videos. Go look back at my other videos about the blackmail. They have infiltrated U.S. cybersecurity, and this guy is in the cyber field. They have backdoors into a lot of the surveillance systems that we have in the United States, between Palantir, between the Inslaw, the Promise software, and the whole Epstein thing. It all comes down to this evil web, and this is what the deep state is. And that's why Israel is controlling us. And that's why No one wants to talk about it except for, and if you do, they're completely ostracized. Like the Nick Fuentes has been talking, like, I heard him talk about Palantir the other day. They're coming down on Tucker Carlson. Candace Owens, I think the whole thing with the Macron, they keep throwing stuff at her with Macron, and because it's like squirrel, because they don't want her doing a deep dive into this. They'd rather her deep dive into the French, finding out if Mrs. Macron has a penis or not. I think that keeps everybody in the safe zone, because that's what she's focused on. When she starts focusing on what's really going on here, it's going to be a much, much deeper topic, because that actually affects people here in the United States, where if Brigitte Macron has a penis or not does not affect anybody here. It's just, again, and it's all revolving around pedophilia. And even in their lawsuit, they're like, well, they're arguing about if she's got a penis, but yet no one really talks about the fact that she was a 40-year-old teacher going after a 15-year-old student, and not saying anything's wrong with that. So anyways, guys, please look at my other videos. I've been doing a deep dive into Israel, how they're controlling the U.S. It is definitely 100% a nation under blackmail. So please like, subscribe, share, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.